Well, what's free to you?
What's free to me?
Yeah.
Same thing it is to you. You tell me.
No, you tell me. No. Because I could talk to you for such a long time.
It's just a feeling. It's just a feeling.
Hey, so I read A State of Freedom by Neel Mukherjee, and it's a book that takes place in India and contemplates the feelings of displacement, told in 5 independent parts with some overlapping going on in between. The paper money has disintegrated into wet confetti. The book opens with the story of an expat taking his son to see his homeland, but everything and everyone seems so foreign, from the monuments to the traffic to the beggars. Then, the next part, there's an adult son who returns from London to his parents' home in Mumbai, or as his family still calls it, Bombay, and is putting together a book of culinary traditions with the help of the cooks and house servants, much to their chagrin because he's blurring the lines too much between master and servant, or the whole us versus them.
Do it, baby. That's the white people job. We know you're white, but baby, damn, come on, that's not your job no more, baby. You with us, baby, yeah.
And we follow one servant's migration from her humble beginnings to her captivity and her journey home. And what was the most engaging chapter for me, because the writing was so cohesive and so heartfelt. Now, after reading the synopsis, I thought this was going to be a book purely about immigration in the general sense of moving from place to place or nationality to nationality. And I guess in some ways it is, but it reads as a marginal experience. Instead, what I found in this book was a sense of mental immigration. It expanded my thinking on the ideas we have about ourselves and whether we enslave ourselves or free ourselves to the possibilities of our lives. Can we migrate between the roles of servant and master by evaluating who or what we serve for whatever desired outcome, be it money, companionship, or a sense of purpose? Can we migrate between roles of compliance to roles of rebellion or resistance by evaluating how we respond to injustices in our communities? The circumstances we're born into are no doubt difficult to change, let alone escape. But what the stories in this book suggest isn't so much how we change or escape these physical boundaries, but that we can change our minds about who we are and who we become in spite of them.
Do you know me now?
This wasn't an easy read. I thought the writing was hard to follow at times and had thoughts of DNFing it, especially during the chapter of the vagrant and his bear. I really wasn't that fond of that chapter with its graphic detail of the bear being made to dance with a rope through his nose. And even though the book's themes were elucidated between this particular relationship, I guess you can say I found it unbearable.
Oh my God.
But when the story returned to the village where the house servant Millie was from and her friendship with Sony began to unfold, I was drawn back in like water to a rice grain. It was really quite palpable, this human need to be free, whether from the shackles of our environment or the shackles we fasten ourselves. From the bear and the bear master to the house servant, Millie being held captive, the effects of enslavement are manyfold, and the price of freedom is sometimes skin and sometimes just changing your mind. The paper money has disintegrated into wet confetti. I really enjoyed the exploration of how we learn the mechanisms of enslavement, whether we're doing the enslaving or becoming enslaved. And so I ended up going down this rabbit hole of thoughts on mental slavery, like people who are enslaved to the idea or the pursuit of money, and it's in humans' nature to sacrifice people or being good to people, or when you're enslaved to the people or the pursuit of people and companionship, and it's in humans' nature to sacrifice all else, work, money, sense, and before you know it, you're incessantly checking his Twitter and his social media and scrolling through his likes ad nauseum. But as human beings, can we truly achieve a state of freedom? Is freedom a fleeting thing, a state of being, or just a concept? Do we even really want freedom? I know that freedom for me is when I don't have to do my hair, or when I'm lost in a book, or even when I'm dancing, because I'm just moving through my body, not stuck in my head thinking about how to get something or to get someone, or having to run away from problems. I can just be. So what's free to you? Let us know in the comments what freedom feels like, looks like, whatever free means to you, and if you think it's something that's achievable. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember to read or be read. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
I'll tell you what freedom is to me. No fear. I mean, really, no fear. If I could have that half of my life, no fear.
Unbearable.